The WIAA has selected the Team Sportsmanship Award winners. We'll tell you who they are. The football college recruiting commitments are coming in. We'll give you an update there. And we're checking in with area high schools on dance, hockey, and basketball. All that and much more. Keep watching. Your local sports news starts now. Thanks for joining us for the sports news. I'm Jessa Jeremiah, and here are your local headlines. A recent Waunakee basketball victory brings additional attention to sophomore Mitch Listow. Listow, who has been offered a scholarship by UW Green Bay, hit a game-winning three-pointer against the visiting Monona Grove team that night. The Warriors Silver Eagle game ended in that moment, 62-59, as the students rushed to Listow for congratulations. The Warriors are now 4-1 overall on their season. The Mad Rollin' Dolls are in full skate as they kicked off their season opener Frozen Fury recently. Be sure to catch their next bouts on January 23rd, February 20th, April 23rd, and May 7th. Events take place at the Alliant Energy Center with doors opening at 5 p.m. and events starting at 6. Tickets for Game 2 are available now. Visit madrollindolls.com for purchase information. In Badger news, the Holiday Bowl is just around the corner as Wisconsin will make its 14th consecutive bowl appearance. They'll be playing Southern California, who will make their second straight appearance to the Holiday Bowl on December 30th at Qualcomm Stadium. Wisconsin, having the top-ranked scoring defense nationally, and USC is on a 5-game winning streak. The Badgers' attendance at this year's Holiday Bowl will be the longest streak in Big Ten history. Now here's what's happening around the state. The WIAA has selected the Team Sportsmanship Award winners for the state championships that took place this fall. The team tournament awards go to Darlington Football, Altoona Girls Volleyball, Kenosha Boys Volleyball, Rice Lake Boys Soccer, and Neenah Girls Tennis. The award is presented to one school program in each of the state team tournaments for outstanding sportsmanship. Award winners receive a banner and a trophy to recognize their conduct accomplishments. In recruitment news, many top high school football seniors have made their choices in the recent weeks for where they will attend college. Defensive end Josh Miller from Homestead has made a verbal commitment to Iowa State on his recent visit after receiving more than a dozen offers from area Division I schools. Another high school senior, Ryan Tobin of Muskego, has made his decision to commit to North Dakota. Tobin is an offensive lineman who earned just one scholarship offer this year. If you'd like additional information on these headlines, please reference the media sources you see listed on your screen. Also, you can like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. Thanks so much for watching the sports news, brought to you in part by the Red Zone Sports Bar in downtown Madison. For sports, music, and the best pub grub in town, visit the Red Zone. When we come back, we're talking hockey. Your Wisconsin Whaler report is next, so stick around. Welcome back to the sports news. I'm Jessa Jeremiah. We are bringing you all the latest in local sports, including talking hockey today. We bring you first to your Wisconsin Whalers report. We've got Max McConnell and Matthew Carr joining us from the Whalers. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Great. So I'm looking forward to speaking with you again. We've chatted with you a little bit earlier in the season about your hockey team, but for folks who aren't familiar with the Wisconsin Whalers, give them just a quick rundown of what your team is made up of.
The Wisconsin Whalers are a junior hockey team who play in the NA3HL out of Oregon, Wisconsin. The NA3 consists of teams from all over the country, so it's pretty high-level competition for junior hockey, and it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well, we certainly enjoy having you and checking in on where you are this season. Now, I understand that folks come from all over. You two are both from Middleton, but explain a little bit about how it works with students who are coming in from other areas.
Well, we have a lot of kids from all over the place. We've got kids from Iowa and Minnesota and a lot from Illinois. We even have a kid from Sweden. So the players will move in with a host family, so they'll move to Oregon or Madison or a surrounding area, and they'll move in with a family and just pretty much live with them and then play hockey with us. So
a lot of dedication it takes there. They're moving from all over the place to come here and play junior hockey.
For sure.
And you've recently had, it was this weekend, right? You had a showcase. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yep, this weekend we just got back from Blaine, Minnesota. It went really well. It was the NA3 Showcase tournament. A lot of the guys got talked to by scouts, and we're really turning the season around, so everything's looking good.
Yeah, so you're mentioning you have had a couple losses earlier in the season. You're on a nice winning streak now. Share with us what your record is. You're going into a 2-week break, but tell us where you're wrapping up before your break.
Yep, our record is 17 wins and 10 losses so far. We got a nice 2-week break, so everybody can recover. We got a few injuries from this weekend.
And you're going to come back from break, and then you're going to be in the second half of your season. Just give us a quick, kind of roundup of what you're looking forward to.
Once we get back from our 2-week break, we get right back to it, practicing every day, 1 day off per week. Wow. And then playoffs start in March.
Okay, so we'll look forward to for you guys to come back and let us know where you are after a nice break, but a well-deserved break, and we thank you so much for your report. This is Max McConnell and Matthew Carr with the Wisconsin Whalers. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next to talk dance is Madison East. Your Pergolda report is here, and we're joined by Lizzie Schneiderman and Quasia Thomas from the dance team. You ladies are captains. We're so glad to see you today. How are you?
We're good. Thank you.
Thanks.
So some familiar faces here on the Sports News. We're going to check back in, see how your season is doing. Now we have basketball season upon us. Let's talk a little bit to start about your role as the East High School dance team during basketball.
So during the basketball games, we perform at halftime, and we also use these performances as dress rehearsals for competition. So we'll perform our competition hip hop and our competition pom routines during halftime at the basketball games.
Smart. Well, that's a treat for the folks at the basketball game too. They get to see it firsthand as you're practicing. And now let's talk a little bit about winter break. So winter break actually has begun for East. Does the dance team get together and practice during winter break? What's your practice schedule look like?
Definitely. Winter break does not slow us down. We still practice 8 hours a week, and we're getting ready for competition, so we need to still practice those routines, and we're preparing for basketball games, and then we have some team bonding planned.
I had a feeling that you ladies didn't stop for a break. I know you guys, your schedule is hectic. But I like the team bonding. I think that's great. We've talked a little bit about that in the past. Let's talk about what kinds of team bonding you do at the dance team to help incorporate into your season.
Okay, so for dance team, we do holiday parties, Secret Santa, and team sleepovers, and that really helps us to learn to trust each other, and it helps us on the floor and we build chemistry.
Absolutely, building that outside of off the dance floor relationship. And I know you're working hard because you're in the middle of your competition season, so break is practice time. Tell us a little bit more about your competition season upcoming.
We've already been to 1 competition, and so now we have 3 left. Right away after winter break, we have 2 competitions back to back. And so over winter break, we really need to perfect our 2 complicated routines, pom and hip hop.
Absolutely. Well, you got 1 down, 3 more to go. How did you guys perform at your first competition? Give us a little recap.
So we performed both of our routines the best that we've ever performed them. And so we're really using that to push us off onto our next competitions and do it even better than we did this last time.
Awesome. What do you guys look forward to most as the competition season comes to a close?
We have our end of the season showcase in March sometime. It's open to the public, and we really encourage everyone to come. We'll be performing our favorite routines from the year. And make sure to check on our Facebook page, Madison East Dance Team, for updates on our showcase and the dates and times.
All right, ladies. Well, this is Lizzie and Quasia, both dance team captains for the Madison East Pergolders. We appreciate your report, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
After the break, we'll join the Madison Memorial Spartans to talk girls basketball. That report is next. Welcome back to the Sports News. I'm Jessa Jeremiah, joined now by head coach Marcus Flowers and Priya Heinen, point guard for girls basketball at Madison Memorial. We're so glad to see you both. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
So, Coach, I'm going to start with you. Talk to us a little bit about how the season is going so far. Give us a little bit of a recap, And talk about the strength of the Big Eight and how you see yourself at Madison Memorial fitting in there.
Well, the season is going pretty well so far. We have a group where we have some seniors who are coming back, and then some other players who are stepping into larger roles this year. And so the first part of the season, which has been really jam-packed with games, the first month, 4 weeks, we've played 10 games already. So almost half of our schedule we've played already. So it's been a steep learning curve for some of our players, getting more experience at the varsity level, filling in different roles. We graduated 6 players who were a heavy part of our rotation of our team that went to sectionals last year. So it's been a learning experience for all of us. I will say though that we're at a good spot given all of those things, and we're excited about where we're going forward.
Absolutely. A lot of folks going into this year, but as you mentioned, a lot of folks have stepped up to the plate. And Priya, let's talk to you a little bit about how long you've been playing and what you think the best part of playing basketball is for Memorial.
Well, I've been playing since 1st grade, and I've been playing with Coach Fowler since 4th grade. And what I find fun about playing basketball is being with a team and like relying on each other, but also gaining that trust between each other.
Absolutely. So you've been with this coach a long time, and Coach, let's move on a little bit to talking some statewide about some concern in declining numbers in terms of participation. What do you do to address that?
Well, for us, we actually, I was an assistant coach with the program 2 years prior to taking over. This is my 3rd year as head coach. And in those 2 years, I really invested in working with our youth program and building up our youth program, getting kids involved, getting kids playing early, and making it a fun experience.
Absolutely.
And that's something that we've really invested in. Our youth program is one of the fastest growing youth programs in the area. From grades 3 to 8, we have over 100 young girls playing basketball on the west side of Madison, which is great for us because as a high school coach, that's the lifeblood of your program. You have to have a strong and viable youth program. And I think statewide, that's where it becomes a challenge, especially with girl athletes, because there isn't the social reinforcement and social status that comes with being an athlete for young women. Obviously, as a coach of girls sports, I'd love for that to change, but societally, that's kind of the way things are.
Yeah.
So girls kind of tend to gravitate to things that they're good at, and basketball is a tough sport to be good at if you don't start early. So for us, it's really important to get kids going early.
Well, thank you so much for your thoughts. Priya, thanks so much for joining us, both of you. Thanks for your report. All right, we're turning our attention to boys basketball now. Up next for your Warrior Report are 3 basketball players from Wanakee High School. We have Kyle Jensen, Jacob Miller, and Riley Freeman, and we're so glad to see all 3 of you boys this morning. How are you?
Good.
Good. So we're going to talk, recap to start. Talk to us about how your season has gone for the team thus far.
Well, we started out the season 5-1. We just beat Providence St. Mel yesterday, and we beat Monona Grove on a buzzer beater 3. The season's been going pretty well. After the past 2 seasons, this is a real good start, and we look for just great things.
Absolutely, and you guys have quite a new offense this year. Let's talk a little bit about how the team is playing together.
Yeah, so we have a new offense that it's based on constant movement on ball and off ball, and I think we were just starting to hit our rhythm in the last couple of games with all the movement.
And looking forward, and for the 3 of you, what do you think your team's biggest goals are?
Yeah, like Jacob mentioned a little bit before, the past 2 years weren't quite up to par. This year we're looking to take back the Badger North Conference title. We got a great start going, and yeah, that's our primary goal.
And in an effort to do that, let us know kind of what some of your biggest strengths are. It's going to take a lot to overcome some of these things that you're working on. What's the best thing you have going for you so far?
Best thing, I think we have a very experienced senior class. We have 9 returners, and we also have 2 sophomore players who play a big role in our offense and give us a boost that we need in the games.
Yeah, well, a well-rounded team, and like you said, some returners coming back. Now, let's take a look ahead to the conference this year and your sort of placement in Badger North. How is it looking?
Yeah, so right now we're in a tie for 2nd place, and the Badger North is really good this year. It has a lot of depth from top to bottom with a lot of good players, so it should shape up to be a pretty exciting conference season.
Absolutely. And what's the next step for Waunakee basketball?
The next step is maturing a little more. Our schedule is pretty hard. We've got a lot of hard teams coming in. We did that for a reason. It's to test ourselves, get us a little bit more matured, be able to handle a little bit more adversity better, so that when the tournament comes, hopefully we can make a little bit of a run.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we wish you the best of luck with the rest of your season. Kyle, Jacob, and Riley from Waunakee High School, the Warrior Report. Thanks a bunch.
Thank
for
you.
having us.
When we return, we're sticking with boys basketball. We've got Beloit next on the Sports News. Welcome back to the Sports News. I am Jessa Jeremiah, joined now by varsity boys basketball for Beloit High School. I've got Alec, Justin, and Levi joining us now. How are you guys doing?
Great, thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're so glad to chat basketball with all of you. Now, let's kind of dive right in. Last year, you guys won the Rock Valley South Conference title, and you return all 5 starters and 9 letter winners. What are your goals for this season? Maybe a lofty question, but give us a brief rundown.
Well, one of our goals from coaching staff down to the players, we believe we can compete for another conference title. And then we also believe we have the talent to make a shot at state. It's going to take some more work in finding the pieces of the puzzle, but after that we feel we can take a shot at the state and conference titles.
And describe, if you would, some comparisons from this year to years past.
We're a lot deeper this year, I would say. We have probably about 9 players that can really play basketball. So we're trying to run the floor real well, play fast, play aggressive the whole entire game, sub people out, and just have, I would say, high-scoring games on our part and try and keep the other team low-scoring under 40 points, I would say.
Absolutely. And kind of how are you going to do that? Describe your team a little bit. Tell us what some of your strengths are, and just as a look ahead to this season, what are the things you would really like to be known for?
We want to be known for mainly how we play defense. We want to be known to be tough. We want to be known to be playing fast, of course, and we just.
I think those are great goals and great things to look forward to. And I'm going to kind of move on to Alec for just a minute and talk a little bit about the great start that you've had this season, as well as being named RVC Player of the Year last season. So what are your plans for after high school?
After high school, I plan to go to college, play basketball in college, and then study business and hope to go into sports management.
Excellent. And also, what schools are in contact with you currently? Any big schools out there that you're talking to?
Right now, Air Force, American, Green Bay, Northern Illinois, Western Illinois, and Bemidji State.
Well, that's quite the list, so congratulations to you and looking ahead to college. Let's talk a little bit about, let's look behind. What's the most important lesson you think you've learned in your time as a basketball player for Beloit Turner?
Personally, I'd say Coach Watkins does a great job of preparing us for life after school. And he always says you can control 2 things, attitude and effort. And I've heard that even from JV coaches, so I know he tries to tell the coaches to try to prepare us for life after high school. They're taking immature kids, trying to form them into men, and they do a great job at that.
Well, you guys are all a great group of guys, so thanks so much for joining us from Beloit High School basketball.
Thank you for having us.
Yep, thank you.
We turn our attention now to McFarland High School for your McFarland Spartan Report. Joining us, we've got head coach for boys hockey. This is Brian Campbell. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So, Coach, I'm going to jump into some questions a little bit about you to start. Why'd you decide to coach at McFarland?
Well, I moved to McFarland in 1992 to raise my family. We knew it was a great school district. Always been involved in hockey and coaching my whole life. When the job opened up, I thought I should probably take a shot at it.
Seemed like a good fit. Tell us a little bit about your background in coaching.
Well, I've been playing referee and coaching pretty much my whole life since about, 11, 12, 13 in there. Coached high school in Madison a bit, coached in Sun Prairie, in the late 70s into the 80s, and a little bit in Europe. So I've got quite an extensive youth coaching, and then I did have 3 years at UW-Whitewater where I coached the men's hockey team.
Very good. So not only an extensive history, but sounds like a well-rounded history in terms of teams and where you've been. Let's turn a little bit to the season and give us a little bit of a recap. What's your season looking like so far?
Well, we're a very young team, so we started off pretty quick. You see that with young teams a lot of times. Then the competition level goes up. The kids don't have quite as much confidence against more established teams. So we started out 3-0, dropped a couple of games after that. Back on track last night after a big win against Monona Grove. But you do see that with young teams, they tend to be a bit manic.
And kind of turning back to you a little bit, let's talk about, you actually had a return to coaching now. You've had some things personally. Why did you return to coaching?
Well, I think one, it's good therapy. I need to do something besides my cardio regime after my little cardiology event, as they like to say. And it's something that keeps my brain a little bit busier, not just my body, but get my thought processes back flowing in the right direction. So I thought getting back with 15, 16, 17-year-olds would probably do that, and it has.
Absolutely. Just in a real quick recap, we've appreciated your thoughts on coaching and, of course, the season recap for McFarland, and we hope to talk to you soon. So thanks so much. This is head coach Brian Campbell. Thanks for your report.
Thank you.
We'll be back with the sports news right after the break. Stick around. Athletics. For sports, music, and the best pub grub in town, visit the Red Zone. That's it for the sports news. I'm Jessa Jeremiah. Please join us next time.